Hello, good evening, and welcome to Unveiled Vibration. Oh, yes, where it will be fun for the whole family. I am your host with the most, TD, and this is Unveiled Vibrations. Y'all, look at me. I ain't even plugging the camera. Ain't even plugged in the camera tonight. I'm here. I'm live. It's your boy, formerly known as Mr. TD McCollum. I am here live in the place to be. I had some technical difficulties earlier. I was a little offline myself. But I'm here. I'm here with y'all, all aboard. Let's go. Let's get it. We here tonight. Give me a moment. Let me plug in this camera. All right. I'm back. Got the camera working now. A lot of technical difficulties tonight. But we here. We in the place. I'm happy to have y'all here with me. All aboard. All aboard. Jeez, all these technical difficulties. But I'm here, y'all. All right, now, so I can show my beautiful face in the place now. I'm in the basement. That's where I'm at. Way down here. Down the stairs. Where it's comfortable, you know. Let's get comfortable with each other and vibe. Shall we? Yes. Tonight I have with me Mr. Dustin Butler. Says hi. Welcome. Auntie Robin is here. She says, good evening. Good evening to you as well. JoJo Speaks is here. He says, hey, Dustin. Also says, hey, Auntie Robin. Hey, to yours truly. Remind you guys out there, please like, share, and subscribe. Baby. Ooh. Uh-oh. Auntie Robin says, hey to Dustin and Joe Speaks. The reason for my pause just now was it's raining. It's a stormy night tonight. And tonight is a special night. As you guys may have seen up there in the description of this said video. Tonight's episode is a recap of 1 year ago. I started this journey of going live weekly. Ain't that crazy, y'all? It was a year ago. And this whole year I've been just trying to figure out my direction and where I want to go with things and what I want to do. And it has been incredible. I thank you guys for joining me along on this journey as I explored music. I've explored a lot of hot topics in the last year. There has been quite a bit that has happened. I actually started picking up my saxophone once again, and began with the simple thing of practicing, putting air into the horn for the first time in a long time. Um, was the biggest hurdle because at one time I didn't deem myself worthy of picking it up anymore. And also, musically, I was struggling, still struggling a little bit with the fact that it has been 3 years since my almost 3 years since my last release of a single. That was Get Lifted, which was a smooth jazz cover of John Legend's Let's Get Lifted. And along the way, I had to do some real soul searching and digging deep and really, really reconciling some things internally because uh, as a creative person, when things aren't working totally your way, you get hard and down on yourself for those things. And that's what had happened to me. I got incredibly hard on myself, and I still am a bit hard on myself for not being able to do what I once used to be able to do. And it's like, okay, well, um, what do you do with that? You know, what do you do with that? And so throughout this last year, um, I've just been chipping away at myself and uh, really just having fun up here on YouTube. Sharing my thoughts and feelings on things and expressing myself musically like I've never done before because I've literally never done it. I've never done this. And so it has been incredible. We got Miss Kim in the house tonight. Yo. She says, hey, everybody. Driving home after family game night. Oh. Gotta love family game night now. Shout out to the whole family. There's a gentleman on I found him on Instagram first. He was he's an African American gentleman, but he would go out here and do these videos of or find these videos of people uh uh from like China and Japan and Taiwan and the Asian community, and they were making all these cuisines, and he would uh, put a voiceover to it with an Asian accent, and it kind of captivated me last year. It kind of stuck with me a little bit. So every now and then I might borrow from that because it was funny to me. So his phrase is food for the whole family. So uh my play on it is entertainment for the whole family. Every day now I'm like, unveiled vibrations. You know, I don't know. I'm silly like that. Oh, all right now. Scrabble champs over there. This kid said they were playing Scrabble tonight. Oh, yo, the last time I played Scrabble with somebody, of course I didn't win, but the two that were I was playing with, man, they were some fierce competitors. Like to the point that they was cussing each other out. That ain't a real word. Scrabble ain't no joke. It ain't no joke, man. It's not one of my preferred games, although I can play it, but I'm not a wordsmith. Mm-mm. Don't ask me how to spell nothing. Nothing. Okay? Because yeah. I will I yeah. Ultimately I did not do good at spelling. Therefore, I never desired to enter into any type of spelling bee or any of those type of child games where they giving you the definition. You gotta say the word and spell it. Nope, not me, not me. No, I will play card games, solitaire, goldfish, some tunk, spades. I even will dabble in Texas Hold'em, poker. Um, Fun fact about me, I actually got into a lot of card games at a young age. Um, the last card game that I actually got into was poker. Poker was something that caught me sitting up late at night. There's a full tilt show that would showcase a full game of people playing poker late at night and winning big pots. And I just like glued in, man, and enjoyed it, man. It was awesome. To me, it was awesome. Um, Seeing how many, and then getting into it, uh, discovered that like there was a whole entire community surrounding poker. Like, you like watching movies and stuff, you or TV shows, you see people playing poker over the years, but you don't realize how big a following poker is. Like it is huge. And then it's to the point of they have these large tournaments around the world and world ranking of players and all kinds of like it's up there with bowling. And for me, I enjoy bowling as well. Um, in college, I it was like one of my ways of escaping from the mundane of my regular schedule program, and uh, it was so great because on campus we had our own bowling alley. So I joined the bowling league and got into that and everything. It was fun. But since then, I've been out of practice of bowling, and I absolutely suck. I suck. I suck. I suck bad. Like, I may be able to get in the hundreds, where in college I was more 200s, like high hundreds to 200. I think my highest game was about 220, 230, somewhere around there. Um, which I was knocking them pins down, hitting strikes. Uh, Perfect game, 300. Not that close. Not that close ever. Um, but yeah, I've been contemplating some things recently. Um, and I kind of want to say some stuff out loud about it because it's weighing on me. And the part that's weighing heavy on me is the fact that um, on YouTube, I want to do so much more, but the platform isn't to me, my opinion, for my needs, isn't quite progressive enough. Like, I over this last year, I've seen a lot of fences, electric fences, where like if you get too close of it, you shocked, or you're actually like in danger of losing your channel. And I'm like, wow, I never knew it could get that bad on YouTube. Now, YouTube is a wonderful platform. I enjoy watching the tutorials. I enjoy watching uh, different musical artists that use it to vlog and other things. But musically, I would like to showcase a little bit more. Like, I would like to include copyrighted music a part of my vibe here. And, like back in college, I was a radio DJ at one time. And so I would love to do my show that way. But YouTube is not the place for that. And so I've considered moving to TikTok, or how what's the name? LeBron James put it. I'm considering taking my talents to South Beach, to Miami. or And so I've considered taking my platform over to TikTok and kind of see where things go there. After being on YouTube for a year, live stream wise, I'm considering it. I'm not totally sold on the migration yet because there's so much I don't know about TikTok. And so I would say probably like the last few days to a couple of weeks, I've kind of started like exploring the possibilities of what I could do on the platform. I know I follow several musicians on there that go there, they perform live. I've found out recently that people go there and they have a whole uh, setup where people are coming in doing karaoke live. I'm like, I love karaoke. What? Can't do that on YouTube. At least I think. I haven't seen it. Now, I do know a few people on YouTube that uh, do showcase like music, like DJ wise and stuff like that. And it was just, man, the amount of hoops that you gotta jump through to and battling against YouTube's restrictions, to me, it I don't think it's worth a fight right now. Since I'm still kind of like in a baby phase of my YouTube channel, and so I don't know. Like I'm on the fence. Like I've had fun over here with you guys, and I don't know. I'm considering like exploring TikTok a little bit more because I've been a viewer on TikTok. I haven't had the pleasure of being like a real content creator. Like I've dabbled with posting stuff, but I don't know. It was something about the timing of going over there didn't right with me, and so I went where I knew. YouTube, I've been on for like I hopped on YouTube very early. Like when YouTube first started, like way back in the day, like 2004, 2005, 2006 YouTube user. So like I've grandfathered in, but there's so much that has changed with YouTube, and some of it I like, some of it I don't. And so I'm a little eh, I'm on, I know I'm talking in circles. I'm a little perturbed at the moment with YouTube because can't do I don't think I can get away with what I want to do here. And um the reach is another thing. Um for my taste, I haven't seen much growth in the last year. Although we have grown, from zero to many. I eh, I would like to be a little more. If right now it's not there, and so I'm in this space of like, okay, I need to redo my approach on things here on YouTube. In the meantime, I think I will explore TikTok because definitely what I've seen over there, TikTok is the place for engagement, and YouTube is no longer for a place of engagement. People, it's more of a browsing situation on YouTube, and um, for me, I don't go live enough, or I don't post I don't post content here at all because I don't create content that often. And that's because honestly, one, I didn't know the direction I wanted to go with. And two, um, the time to really sit down and put thought into it. I don't really have that much time. And that was like the reason for going live because I did not feel like editing a video ever again. As someone that used to go out, shoot their own videos, come home like hours away, come back home, import, edit, and then post. I got burnt out. Absolutely burnt out. And what I'm referring to is I used to be a HBCU band videographer. And what that entailed was me going to different HBCU football games, recording the marching band entire day almost. Like from before the game starts and after the game starts. And we're talking about 4 quarters, halftime, and post game. All of that. Come back home, go through all that footage in the computer, and chop out highlights from the day to post on my YouTube channel, marching8to5.com, at marching8to5, 8, the number, TO, the number 5. Because that's a concept between marching bands. For every step that they march, it takes them 8 steps to get 5 yards. That's the concept behind the name. And the company name was 8 to 5 Entertainment. Like, we did a lot over a 10-year span from 2009 to 2019. And we're kind of lingering around, still doing stuff every now and then, but we're not as active as we once were. Because, like, at our peak, we were going somewhere to somebody's game every week for 12 weeks straight. Almost 12 weeks from August to December. 12, 13 weeks straight. We were traveling somewhere at somebody's football game. And I got tired. And financially, it wasn't working either because, like, the channel itself grew to a peak and never crossed that barrier. It never crossed over to the next threshold. And that kind of saddened us as a group because we put in a lot of work and it wasn't growing anymore. And the main reason behind it was we weren't posting anything that people desired to watch in the masses because of the bands that we were featuring. We were mostly featuring the I don't want to call them lower tier, but a lot of unknown programs and uh, exciting programs out there that did not get exposure like the rest of the major ones. Like Southern University is a major one. Grambling is a major one. FAMU is a major one. Jackson State is a major one. Every now and then we would feature them, but it wasn't on a consistent basis where like from every week we had footage for them. No. And because of that, other channels that would go to those games weekly, they grew faster because they met the demand. And yeah, as a large group that we had, we would show up to the game with 4 or 5 at a peak, 4 or 5 different cameramen at a game, capturing the footage for the day, multiple angles. And for me to go back home with 5 camera angles of footage to comb through, to piece together, that was absolutely time consuming and hurtful to our channel when people want to see that footage same day or next day. And I had a 1-person shooter that we were up against. He would post it in hours after the game, if not in real time. And it's like, yo, we can't compete with that. No, that was a miss for us. And so yeah, it was definitely an experience of a lifetime for us. And so I've learned from that, and I don't want to be burnt out. Doing something that isn't working the way I want it to. So my next experiment is to dabble on TikTok more and bring some of that from TikTok back to YouTube. Because at one time I was considering doing a second day of the week, but what bothered me about it was the commitment to it. The commitment to going and doing another show, another day of the week on a second platform just didn't sit well with me. And so I'm in the space of I got to release one to pick up another. That's my capacity at the moment. Yeah, I'll tell you one of the other areas that's like a little difficult for me right now is I'm a little. No, I'll say I won't lie. I'm quite a big person on aesthetics, and right now I don't see where I could bring the aesthetics from here over there. So I will be completely starting fresh. And it kind of bothers me a little bit because I like what I did over here. You know, I got this beautiful basement that I won't be able to showcase. The intro reel and exit reels, um, I won't be able to showcase. And although I will be able to share my screen over there, it won't look the same. You know? And so I think I might have to dabble in a few things to really dial in what I want over there. So it's gonna be quite interesting. For those that don't know, my name on the Tickety Talks is as follows. And Instagram. That's another one that I'm on the fence with. Instagram. Since parting ways with Facebook, I've held on to Instagram for a little bit. And I'll tell you why. Because mostly because of how fast information travels on Instagram. What was like amazing to find out is how quick that same information is also disseminating on TikTok. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's not as fast as Instagram. So you can look me up on both platforms, and my tag will remain this, but I've already shifted the actual name, like the username, over to Unveiled Vibrations. So when you type in this, you're going to see this Unveiled Vibrations there as well. And the vibes that I want to set over there, I want to set it off on fire this month. This month, I want to set it off. Y'all, I'm just realizing this. My gray is starting to bleed over. For a long time, I had a half gray and half ungray goatee part of my beard, man. This let me know my age is starting to creep on in. And it naturally just grew out this way. Like once I got in my 30s, near my 30s, I started seeing it do half gray on this side here, and then go little sprinkled there. And I was like, I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's the duality. Uh, maybe. I don't know. But during this last part of the segment here, I kind of want to just throw some things out there into the universe. Um, for the replay crew that reached past this point, um, here comes the madness. Buckle up, hold on tight. Okay. So on TikTok, I've seen several conversations of people talking about time displacement and what is going on in this version of Earth. A friend of mine was astonished at my ability to recognize time and the ebb and flow of time and be able to track the things that are happening time wise forward towards the future as well as the past. And the weird aspect of it is when people say they have been messing with the timeline, it crosses the threshold of science fiction, weird stuff. And what I mean by that is it's uncharted territory as far as people articulately explaining what has happened. And it makes sense. Like, to understand that there is another version of you out there in a parallel universe timeline ish that is explored a whole different career path, have a whole different location of where they're living, has a whole separate set of life experiences. Like some of them may even have a different person that they're in a relationship with. Like weird stuff like that does exist. And to know that you could go to bed today and wake up and Go through your day tomorrow and cross paths with your other self on just simple stuff. Driving down the road to the store. One version of yourself decides to go to Walmart. The other version of yourself decides to go to Harris Teeter. Another version of yourself decides to go to Kroger / Publix. They're all you. It's just the thought of decision making makes the difference in what plays out. To know that all of that is running congruent and parallel to each other is a weird space. Like, for instance, there is a parallel time in which Donald Trump did not become president again. It is unfortunate we're not experiencing that timeline. The same thing can be said that there is a timeline where Barack Obama never became president. But that's not a world that we're currently experiencing. And some people have blamed this organization, CERN, for the cause of the shifts as they turn on their particle accelerator, particle collider several times throughout the year on key quote unquote spiritual days or high energy days. And things are happening. Things are weirdly shifting around. Like, since the first time they did it back in 2008, 2009, and they're now deeming it the Mandela effect, where, little nuances of things is slightly different. Not in a way like, oh no, it was just a rebranding. No, it's as intricate as people saying, I don't recall that happening. That's preposterous. I've always remembered it this way. And it's quite astonishing when people start to fact check these things. And because there is a record somewhere on the earth that people can draw from, like it becomes like a astonishing phenomena. It's like, are we going crazy? Or are they simply playing in our faces? And the fact that they're getting away with these subtle differences, like one of the guys I was watching his TikTok video, he said he remember a time where the Kit Kat logo had a dash in between the Kit and the Kat. And I do recall that growing up. There was a dash. Another small nuance that I started noticing with stuff like that. When did the peanut M&M become the primary spokes M&M for M&M's? The yellow one. When did it become the primary? Like, it once was two of them. It was the red regular one, and then the peanut M&M was the yellow one. Over time, oh my gosh, it was something that had just happened like within the last 2 years that I noticed that the red M&M faded away, and all we would see primarily was the yellow one. And it was like astonishing to me. You know, what's that about? Is that a branding thing, or was this a Mandela effect thing? Because before that, it was always the brown M&M being at the forefront. As you going back in towards like the 80s and stuff like that, like I'm telling my age a little bit. Um, just like the commercial for the uh, Tootsie Roll Pop. There are slight differences in what people remember of that commercial. Uh, and it was just like, well, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? Um, you know, the Bearstein Bears versus Bearstein Bears. It's like, what's that about? I grew up with Bearstein Bears. It's weird stuff. Weird stuff, man. I think what is happening ultimately is we're not paying attention enough because of what's going on in our daily lives. And so that um, is messing with everybody's minds. That's one theory. My other theory is like we're legit going through time distortion manipulation where because I remember as a child, like at one point it felt like there was a time warp, like everything sped up time wise at one time, and the years blew by like in a blink of an eye. From between like 91 and 19, I would say like 1996, that time period went bam, 1996 happened. And then from 96 to 2001, it kind of slowed down a little bit. And then from 2001 to like 2003, it was like a blur. Time distortion. We got to 2004. Time kind of slowed down a little bit. 2005, it kind of was just trickling along. 2006 came, went in a blur. We were in 07, 08. We hit 2009, and our entire world began to shift. It is absolutely funny that a lot of the shift happened in 2009, around the time or shortly after CERN turned on this particle accelerator. I don't know. Could be coincidence. Could not be. But the way time shows up to me, time shows up as a row of ladders. And everyone is moving along up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down on the ladder horizontally, but vertically at the same time. Where Tuesday, you're down here. Wednesday, you're here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we'll cycle back through the week, days of the week, and reposition based off of our decision making and courses of events of life that happen. The person that cut us off on Tuesday affects our day on Wednesday if we decide to let it affect us. The decision to eat a bunch of cake on Saturday affects how our next Wednesday will be. It's that kind of stuff that I feel like I'm a little pervy to that a lot of other people are not. And I think having that conversation over on TikTok will suit me better than over here on YouTube. Just my thoughts. And so with that, I'm gonna say this has been a Unveiled Vibrations production in conjunction with all of our platforms. Prophetic Fire Reiki on Mondays. JoJo Speaks Mondays and Thursdays. And Saturdays with Faithful Warrior Ministries. I think I'm going to hold on to the time slot of 8:30 when I do go over to TikTok. You guys are welcome to come in the room. And I know I have to do a lot of work over there to build that platform up, but I'm willing to do it. And I'll come back here with some updates to to tell you guys. Um, yeah, I'm complete on this. You guys can see me back here on YouTube on Saturdays at 10. And we'll come together and have a devotional. We're going to have some prayer. We're going to laugh and talk about life. Check out your boy's music. It is available on all streaming platforms. Boom. There it is. 3 singles. Exploring some ideas musically where I will share with you guys what I actually come up with later. Right now, I'm just in a state of I don't know. I don't know anymore what what I desire to do. And so I appreciate all of you guys joining me for Weekly Dose of Reality here on YouTube, as well as the musical live streams. The new wave is definitely going to it's going to be a little different. And so if you're down for the journey, come follow with me. Simple as that. Just come follow me. I'll be there. Instagram and TikTok. But I'm going to TikTok. We're going to have some fun. And so with that, I'm ending this show tonight. Earlier than I usually would. I appreciate you all and wish you a wonderful night. God bless.